proud and now rested father was the first to arrive this morning.
How are you? How are you? I'm all right, thank you very much.
Crowds waited for their next glimpse of the family, patriotic brollies.
Bombay. Good morning, sir. Can you tell us how your
Good morning.
How is she?
Very well indeed, thank you. Looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. Lovely baby, too. Lovely baby. Really pack it up, face too. A really good one. Hello, how are you?
Welcome, seekers of the Schadenfreude, apostles of the pathetic, watchers of the retro wasteland. I am on a quest to seek out Earth's worst retro games, attempting to play them, analyse them, and cry about them so you don't have to. I'll be using my powerful critical mind and an exciting Google Documents Excel sheet to stack these games against each other, spending the rest of my life seeking out the worst game that has ever been made. Remember folks, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, but the road to retro hell is paved with shit games. There are many pathways on the road to retro hell, and one such pathway is that of the parody game that fails to get a laugh. It's a sort of game that can say, oh, well, if you didn't like it, you just didn't get the joke, or the only reason you're not laughing is because you're offended. And while I am offended, it's not because of the subject matter, which is mostly toothless stuff. I'm offended by just how little there is to Dice Baby. It can't really be described as a series of minigames, because minigame collections tend to be built around replayability, trying to best a previous score, that kind of thing. Dice Baby can only be described as a series of half-arsed ideas in video game form. Each of these half-baked ideas, of which there are only 5, is sculpted around the hilarious subject of Princess Diana having a baby. That's the whole joke, by the way. It doesn't really extend beyond that. The parody has finished. The joke is that Princess Diana is having a baby. Also poo. If you're a poo connoisseur like me, you'll have noticed immediately that the highly detailed poo on offer here is the same poo from previously reviewed Commodore 64 game Santa's Grotty Christmas. Bad Taste Software certainly knew how to draw poo, I'll give them that. You start this hilarious fiasco by controlling Prince Charles, who, for reasons I don't even care to fathom, has to shoot toilet rolls at pots full of shit. The pots of shit will periodically empty themselves at you. You can, if you want, catch the falling turds in your own excrement vessel. If you want, it doesn't really matter. You get points for it, but you get points for it, alright? That's it. You get points for it and it doesn't matter because you're playing this game, okay? Okay. What you'll quickly notice about this first level, aside from the fact that it's just Space Invaders with a scatological coat of paint, is that you really need to get rid of the first layer of enemies as soon as you can, because they throw so much shit at you and most of it sticks. This is by and large the most difficult level in Dice Baby. It also takes the longest time to complete, and it's probably the most boring, so get used to seeing it, because if you want to complete Dice Baby, and Lord knows that achievement should not be on your to-do list, then you're going to have to get good at throwing toilet paper. Level 1, then, is called The Joys of Parenthood, but on completion you'll be treated to the next phase, the Conception. It's in this stage that you'll also most likely lose a ton of lives, which, by the way, pause the review, because I have no idea how many lives you get, or when the game will decide to slap a game over sticker on your chest. It seems completely random, and even rewatching the footage, I can't work it out. Quite surprisingly, it's very difficult to find a manual for Dice Baby anywhere on the internet, almost as if no one wants to remember it, which I'm sure you'll find extremely difficult to believe. Anyway, where was I? Yes, you need to make Prince Charles have sex with Diana. You do this by completing a very simple platform game in which you have to get past 4 obstacles. That doesn't sound particularly tricky, and truth be told, it's not overly difficult, but The jumping arc is definitely something you're going to have to get used to. This isn't even something I can level solely at Dice Baby. Platform games of this era were still going through their Wild West phase of doing whatever the hell they wanted, and this game is no different. Prince Charles jumps in a fairly stiff triangle motion. For the most part, you just have to find the right place to stand and press jump, and the rest is down to timing. Also, beware of this piss pot at the end, because for whatever reason that also kills you. Once Charles has impregnated Diana, we move on to The Long Wait. This can best be described as Robotron with most of the difficulty removed. You, this time controlling a pregnant Diana, must run around the level escaping the paparazzi. You can shoot them if you want, which doesn't seem thematically accurate, but in most cases you won't even need to bother doing that. Just head to the exit, because a lot of the time you'll have a clear path straight there. Each exit is a number representing the month of pregnancy. Get to 9 months and well done, you've completed the easiest section of the game. And you're now on one of the most annoying sections. Dash to the Hospital sees you driving your car through the mean streets of London. It's a static maze-style game, and it's pretty much only got one particular route you can take in order to win. You're chased by what I'm led to believe are striking miners, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense, but whatever. It's funny, isn't it? It's satire. Laugh, you idiots. You just don't get it.
Funny how?
The enemies will follow you in a set pattern, so what you need to do is get your car into a certain position in order to lure them to you, backtrack, lure them the wrong way, then head back the way you came in order to continue. It's a slow, laborious process, and it plays out exactly the same way every time. There's nothing particularly fun about it, but you know what? At least it works, I suppose. Once you reach the hospital, it's time for the delivery, and I'm not entirely sure what is even happening here. I just kind of won by accident, and I was that glad to be done with it, I just didn't bother to question it. There are storks flying overhead. Sometimes they'll drop a baby. I think you just have to catch one. I don't know if it matters which platform you're on, or why there are even platforms there in the first place. All you have to do is avoid this one enemy, a big syringe, and that's it. That's the climax. You can enter your name in the high scores if you want. Dice Baby is, much like the first stage of the game, shit. There's not a great deal else that can be said about it. It's not grotesquely inadequate like Squidge. It's not infuriatingly difficult like Defenders of the Earth. But most importantly, it's not funny like Grange Hill. Grange Hill wasn't even meant to be funny. Dice Baby is centered around the concept of being, oh, aren't I naughty, making fun of things I shouldn't. But it doesn't even really make fun of anything. It could literally be about anyone's baby. It doesn't parody anything about the royal family. It's just a bunch of levels that are sort of like other, better games. It's mediocre to the extreme. So, with that being said, it's going in under Grange Hill. Grange Hill is funnier than a game that tries to be funny. Let that sink in. Right, it's time to spin the wheel and find out what misery lies in store. Space Ace on the SNES. Space Ace on the SNES. Space Ace on the SNES. Space